We always kick things off with the daily chart. That's the level from trading history, the one that was on the chart before. It would be better to check it properly. There's no retest of the level nearby. There isn't, Arman. Don't make things up. Nothing there. So, the level from trading history. Yeah, it would be interesting to check this one out. Okay, let's move on. Hourly chart. Lyosha Komitsky. Okay, Lyosha Zaretsky. Look closely. The guy is giving us information about a level from history. If we're looking at the level from trading history, I need to understand as a rational trader that the trade should be made at that level from the trading history. But obviously, there's nothing at that level. Instead, some random level is being used just because it happened to line up with something. And now the person is trying to do something with it. What's the point of marking a level from the daily chart if it's not traded? If we don't even touch the hourly chart, I don't get it. Here's the trade. Honestly, it's just awful. The mistake isn't just on the 5-minute chart, mistakes are everywhere. Lyosha, this trade is complete garbage. Seriously, he shouldn't have traded anything there at all. There's no signal. Where did you even see a signal? There's nothing there. The only valid signal was lower. There's no strong level here. And the price already went up and down around the level. Arman, just because you saw the price of the asset move the other way doesn't mean there was a good entry point. I wouldn't enter here yet. This is your issue. You keep trying to trade weak setups. And that's why you end up with bad trades like this one right here. You need to stick to strong setups. Only strong setups do you understand. That way, you can actually understand what's happening in the market. If you keep trading weak setups, nothing good will come out of it. Watch yesterday's video with our new mentor. You'll get it. This trade isn't just bad, it's complete garbage. You mark a daily level, then draw some local nonsense off of it thinking that's an entry. What kind of positioning do you even expect to get with that approach? Right now, this is just bad. Maxim Urakov. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. So, all right, a buyout bar. This is a buyout bar. This is the strongest setup. In this case, it's not just strong because it's a buyout bar, but because the asset closed above the upper border of the channel. That makes it a very strong setup. See, I don't even know what kind of trade was there. I don't see any details, but just based on the setup, it's solid. You should have traded the breakout upwards. Unfortunately, it didn't perform quite as expected. But the setup itself is still very strong. See, got kicked out here, but I'd re-enter for the second time. Max, good setup, great description. The only thing you forgot to mention is that this is a buyout bar, and it's a very strong one. Everything looks great, it just didn't play out. Okay, here we go. 4-hour, daily, hourly, 5-minute. All right, let's get started. Okay, the level looks good, strong level, clear accumulation boundaries, near retest. I agree. Moving on to the hourly chart. No reaction to the false breakout. The level is marked beautifully. Now, down to the 5-minute chart. Excellent trade, really solid setup, no contradictions at all. Daily, hourly, 4-hour, 5-minute charts. Everything lines up perfectly. The level is well adapted. Nice work. No questions, no complaints. Everything is clear. Great trade, short stop loss. Everything looks perfect. Well done. Okay, here we go. First, the daily chart. Always start with the daily chart. Looking at the setup, here's what we've got. The sideways trend and level strengthening. All right, here's the level. I don't see a trade yet. But this level here, it's nonsense. No need to go digging far back just to look for a bar that formed the level. Yeah, this stop is solid here. Sideways trend, false breakout. I agree. I'll take this as a valid level. Yep, I agree. Reversal trade, solid setup. No issues here. It was a fantastic trade, a false breakout. An absolute killer trade. Beautiful execution and a great false breakout setup. This is exactly the kind of trade you want to see. If you're wondering what a perfect setup looks like, here it is. The breakout didn't happen where it should have. The setup is amazing. Who is this? Yuri Chernyak. Well done. Beautiful trade. Super clean execution. 29-1. Totally awesome. I always start with the daily chart. The daily chart tells you right away whether someone knows what they're doing or not. All right, look closely. When the asset closes near the level, that's the key. I don't even need to check what's below. I don't see it, I don't look at it. If it closes near the level, the first signal is usually a breakout signal. Even if the asset has already moved 5 ATR, it doesn't matter. For Bitcoin, that's not even that much. If it's still closing near the level, the breakout is more likely, not a false one. Now, this one ran really far. Honestly, you just got lucky here. Seriously, this trade was pure dumb luck. First of all, I would never trade this kind of setup. That's the first issue. Second, you entered with a huge $700 stop loss, barely a 3-1 risk reward ratio. Fehoz, this was a tough trade. Not one I would make. This was more luck than good decision making. There was definitely no false breakout signal here. The trade worked out, but it was just that, lucky. Okay, let's go. Fartcoin, short 486. Watch closely. Now, about the movement range. When the asset has empty space below, sometimes you can ignore ATR. Ah, well, you took the profit. Entry was on the third attempt. It's a solid, clean trade. I would have entered it too. When there's clear space below, you can enter without hesitation. Awesome trade. Okay, let's move on. Daily chart first, always the daily chart. All right, a lot of levels here. Yeah, good trade. The price is moving up and down around the level, clear level. Solid execution, no complaints. Who is this? Oleg Gavrishov. Yeah, good trade. Solid 4 out of 5. Clean setup. Okay, let's move on. No complaints, good trade. You were just a bit short of reaching the take profit. The opening was slightly far from the level. If you had opened the trade behind the level, you would have hit the take profit. Nikolai Dubrovka, just a bit short of reaching the target. See, the price is starting to move up and down around the level. This makes things way harder. At this point, you can get kicked out at any bar. Literally any. This is just random, a total coin flip trade. So yeah, this trade was pure luck. Let me explain why. When the asset moves up and down 10 times and then there is a sudden downward movement, that's not skill, that's just luck. This was really nothing but luck. And here's why. Who is this? Fejos. You could have entered here but would get kicked out. If you entered here, you would face the same thing. If you tried entering here again, you would get kicked out all the same. Then, on the eighth attempt, you would finally succeed. And how do you ever know which attempt is the right one? This was luck, not your pattern. Normal daily chart, nothing bad. The strategy is fine, but the stop loss is way too large. I wouldn't place a stop like that here. And the reason is simple. Once again, this is the fifth time I'm saying it. Stanislav, you're at every webinar of mine, and you still don't get it. I say this every single time. It's fine to enter here as long as the level is clean, the price isn't moving up and down around the level, there's low volatility near the level, and there are no deep pullbacks. If all of that checks out, you can enter with a short stop loss. Here, we had a breakout bar. That's where the stop loss should have been. With that, you would have hit the take profit easily. There's no need to enter a primary breakout with massive stop loss orders, huge ones. What difference does it make what he is trading? Spot or whatever? I seriously don't get what is wrong with people right now. It hardly matters what you're trading, spot, futures, or something else. What difference does it make? It's just a chart. If I were you, I'd have placed a much smaller stop loss, problem solved. So make sure to go back and review the rules. The trade itself was fine, but the stop loss was way too large. You don't have rules for a primary entry, and that's because you either didn't study or didn't study well enough. So here's the daily chart, here's the hourly one. Let's get things rolling. Yeah, it's a good trade. Do you see it? Look at the beauty of this setup. The level is being tested point by point on the hourly chart, and then there is a close retest. Now, that's a really clean setup. I love it when the level is tested like this. See this? Then we are going for a close retest. That's exactly what happened here. Solid setup. Very good. And the second attempt, you re-entered after getting kicked out the first time. See? No deep pullback, just a small retrace before we came right back. This shows the strength of the asset. Great setup, and well done for re-entering a second time.